Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Superpower User. My name is Stanley, and today I want to talk about the Shure RMCE-BT2 headphone cables for your Shure in-ear monitors. What I've got here is the newest version of Shure's Bluetooth cable. It's the Bluetooth 5.0 earphone communication cable, which came out about end of last year, which is end of 2018. And in early 2019, I picked this up for my devices, and I've had about a few months to play around with it. So I want to talk about my experience with it, my thoughts on the design, and perhaps some impressions of the sound quality and overall thoughts of the product, basically. This product, of course, is compatible with all Shure in-ear monitors, everything from the 215, SE315, 425, 535, and of course, what I've got here, which is the 846s. So, out of the box, what you get is a charge cable, which is a USB-A to mini USB Type B connector, which is used to charge the Bluetooth cable. And then you've got the cable itself. As you can see, this cable isn't really big. It's a little bit bigger than the older version cable, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The connectors are compatible with all Shure in-ear monitors, and that's because this is a MMCX type connector. So they're modular. You just take your own headphones, whatever you got, and you can connect it in, and it just snaps right in. Also, if you have MMCX type headphones that are not Shure's, they also work with this headphone cable. This isn't Shure's first Bluetooth cable. Actually, a few years back, Shure came out with the RMCE-BT1, which is a Bluetooth cable that's a slightly slimmer version of this. It's basically just a cable with two MMCX connectors, and then, of course, you've got your buttons in the middle. That cable I tried out for a little bit, but in general, I wasn't really happy with the quality and the performance of that cable. In terms of design, what we got here is, of course, you've got the headphones, and then what you have on top is a little wire, which is very similar to almost all Shure cables nowadays. There's a little wire inside to keep its form, and with heat shrink wrap. And then it's a rubberized cable, which is pretty nice to the touch. On the right ear cable, you've got a communicator microphone on-off switch. So you hold to turn on, hold to turn off, and then you got your volume up, volume down. This little module is basically all the controls for this cable. Lower down, you have basically the BT or Bluetooth transmitter, along with the codec, the decoder, or the amp. So what Shure has done is they've separated the Bluetooth controller from the sound processor, and that's why this is quite a bit bigger than the older version. Comparing and contrasting the RMCE-BT1 versus BT2, the BT1 headphone cable has a smaller battery, which is only rated for about 8 hours. This is rated for about 10 hours. The Bluetooth protocol is different. The old one is only good for 4.1, while this is BT 5.0. The codecs, the old one, is only good for SBC, while this supports aptX, aptX HD, aptX low latency, AAC, as well as SBC. So what in effect is you're going to get a much higher quality sound because of the higher bit rate and data supported by both Bluetooth 5.0 and the newer codec. And of course, one of the biggest differences for quality is the Bluetooth module is separate from the headphone amplifier module. It's on separate chips, while the old one was all integrated in one chip. What is it like to use this headphone cable, you might ask? Well, it's basically like any other Shure headphones. You just wrap it around over your ears, and you have this module here dangling. This is actually one of my biggest gripes for this cable. The older cable was a little bit slimmer, a little bit lighter. This module, on the other hand, just sits here at basically chest level, and you really can't do much about it. It does have a clip on the back, but then, for example, I'm wearing a regular t-shirt, and the clip is really not that useful because you can see here, clip it in, the cable just doesn't, it sits really strangely. And if you're going out for a run or whatever, you have to clip it in, or else this thing will just bounce all over the place. And because it's a little bit heavier, it tugs and pulls. So the length is kind of strange. It's not long enough to sit in your pocket, but it's not short enough to kind of be out of the way. So it's just right there. So it's not necessarily the best gym headphone cable. If you're going for the gym and doing run-in, I actually would recommend the RMCE-BT1 because it's just slimmer and smaller. This is really meant for maybe sitting at home or traveling. You're on the airplane or wherever you want to just listen to music, and basically stationary, or maybe walking. Really, if you start running, this will basically bounce all over the place. To operate this cable, you basically hold the middle button for a few seconds until it says power on, and then it'll tell you more than 8 hours battery, or how many hours of battery you've got left. There isn't any battery indicators on this, and the only thing you have is a little LED on the back here, which will blink blue if it's connected to Bluetooth. You can see right there. It'll also blink red if your battery's pretty low. In general, I haven't really had a big issue with battery life. The 10 hours of advertised battery life I've been able to get pretty much most of the time. And then, of course, I charge using the bottom right here, and I get it charged up whenever I'm not in use. So I really never drain this thing all the way down to the empty. In order to pair the device to your computer or whatever device you're using, you turn it off and hold this power button for 7 seconds. Basically, it'll turn on, and then if you keep on holding it without releasing, it'll go into pairing mode, and then it'll be discoverable by your device. In general, the usability of this is really quick, really nice. It connects pretty quick. It's able to switch between devices relatively fast, and overall, the experience is pretty good. Now, it's no Apple, AirPods quick, and it's not as quick as just putting it in your ears. You do have to go through the device and then connect to Bluetooth. But once connected, you can turn it off, turn it back on, and your device is going to recognize it really fast. Also, if you hold the middle button for a few seconds, you'll be able to bring up Siri either on your computer or on your phone, and you can use voice commands that way. Now, to talk about sound quality, of course, I'm sure you realize sound is very subjective, and this is all my opinion, and whatever your perceptions may be different from mine. The other thing I wanted to cover is that most of my products are Apple products. So I've got a Mac, I've got an iPhone, an iPad. Believe it or not, that actually makes a difference in the experience that you're going to get. The other thing is that depending on your in-ear monitor that you've got connected to the headphones, you may also have a different experience. This right here is the Shure SE846s I've had for 3, 4, 5 years now, and I've been mainly using them as connected with these cables right here. And this is also a communication cable, but it was designed for the 3.5-inch headphone jack for the iPhone. Comparing and contrasting the Bluetooth cables versus the wired cables, I found that basically in a blind test, I'd be very hard pressed to find any sound differences. In a A/B/A, testing back to back to back, I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me because I know that I'm using the Bluetooth, but it sounds like the soundstage is ever so slightly smaller with these than with the cables. But really, if you were to use the cables, use the Bluetooth cables for any period of time, and you basically won't even tell the difference. Now, the point of me bringing up that my products are Apple products is because my music library is mainly iTunes. I've got MP3, 320 kilobits per second, MP3 files. I've got AAC, Apple Music files, and Apple matched AAC files. So the source of my music is both MP3 and AAC. Now I realize if you have FLAC or Apple ALAC or very, very high bitrate lossless files with dedicated amp, your experience may be different. But for most of my listening, I've been listening either off of the iPhone, the old iPhones with headphone jacks, or the laptops with iTunes. So it's good, but it's not. It's not. Of course, it's not the dedicated setup where you have the highest bitrate and highest best amp. So with that said, the cables using coming out of the computer, for example, is very similar to the Bluetooth with the headphones. What I did find is that there was a little bit of difference between the codec that you use when you use a computer. So on my Mac, I can choose to use either SBC or AAC or APT. And I found that both APT and AAC sounded a little bit better than SBC. On the iPhone and iPad, on the other hand, by default, these devices will only output AAC. I guess Apple does not support APT, or aptX. So if you have an Android phone or you have a dedicated music player that can output aptX or aptX HD, you might be able to get even a better experience. Although, to be honest, I couldn't tell the difference anymore. I know some people on the internet, reviewers say that yes, there is a difference. No, there isn't a difference. Unless you're really sitting down and listening for differences, I don't think that you're going to be able to tell the difference. And mind you, I'm using SE846s, and these are basically the top of the line in-ear headphones from Shure. It's not like it's a 215 where you can't tell any difference. The 846s, I was pretty hard pressed to find noticeable difference. Now, maybe a little bit of difference just to say that they're different, but I couldn't say one was better than the other. Again, just my perception. So would I recommend the Bluetooth 5.0 earphone communication cable? Well, really, that comes down to just a few things, and it's probably not what you think. In terms of sound quality, it's really similar enough to these wired cable that it's really not that big of a deal. What it really comes down to is, are you in the need of Bluetooth cables? And if you're looking at Bluetooth cables, then you probably either really want to get on wired, or you're forced to go to Bluetooth because your phone or your iPad no longer have a headphone jack if you're with Apple. So really, these are your only alternative because Shure's MMCXs, this is pretty much your best bet. And you know who you are if you're in the market for these. The other thing to consider is, what is your use scenario? And what I mean by that is, are you going to be exercising with this? Are you going to be sitting in a lounge chair listening to music? Are you going to be traveling and listening to music? If your plans are to listen to music and you really you want to listen to music, that's fine. But if you want to exercise, this module right here kind of gets in the way, and it's just a little strange in terms of design. It's a little too big, a little too bulky, clumsy, and the clip isn't really easy to use, especially with a t-shirt. Just my 2 cents. But then I found that really isn't my use case for this. I'd rather get AirPods or Beats, the power Beats for exercising. This is really for when you want to sit down and enjoy a movie or enjoy music. After all that said, truth to be told, I don't actually use this cable all that much as I expected when I purchased this. And it actually comes down to one thing, and the most important factor is the fitment of the cable over my ears. And this is actually a very standard Shure cable with a metal wire inside. You can see here, it's fitted and it's bent to a specific shape of your ear, right? And to me, I absolutely struggle with keeping this in place. I really dislike how the wire, they've got the hard wire in here, and if you can see here, it sits a little bit higher than my ear, or it doesn't wrap around my ears as nicely as the old version of the communication cable here, which I've got here. So I've got this, and now this is actually discontinued. This is the old version of the communication cable, which doesn't have the wire, and it's very soft, very flexible. I can put it in my ear, and the cable just drapes right around my ear very closely. And to me, I can pop it in, pop it out of my ears very easily. This is basically the same design as the OEM cables, same design as almost all the cables now that Shure offers. I absolutely cannot use it and despise it. So that's kind of funny, because to me, in the end, it didn't come down. It's not about the quality of the sound. It's not about the connectivity or anything. It's how the cable feel. And to me, these cables are absolutely the best because it's lightweight, it's simple, and it just fits my ears much, much, much better. And that's kind of how I've been, I've kind of gone back from the Bluetooth cable back to the wired cables just for that one reason. So what can I say? Again, if you don't have any problems with the default Shure cables, or you might like, or if you like the wire in there, honestly, this is a very, very nice Bluetooth cable set that I think you'll enjoy. To me, it's kind of a bummer, but oh well. Anyway, if you found this review useful, make sure to hit that like button and perhaps consider subscribing if you are interested in future tech videos or review videos. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.